Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. AMC Stock is up 0.5% here on the day today as we look forward to Barbie and Oppenheimer that look like they're going to boost sales for AMC. Now, advanced ticket sales have been very strong, and this highlights something that we have talked about here on this channel quite a bit as of recently. AMC's business is improving. Now, we'll talk about this, get you caught up to speed on everything currently going on, as well as that in the broader markets, you've seen a sharp sell-off today because of some Ukraine as well as Russia escalations in the Black Sea. This is causing the price of wheat to go higher, which could lead to further food inflation later on in 2023. And who doesn't love their grocery bills going higher? I know that's our favorite thing in the world. Now, let's go ahead and get into all of this information. If this is your first time to the channel, well, maybe you live under a rock. If you do, and maybe you just got internet connection for the first time, well, we keep you up to speed with everything going on with AMC, possibly the biggest short squeeze of all time, right around the corner, as AMC's data has never been more suggestive of an imminent short squeeze. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, AMC's CEO eyes Barbie and Oppenheimer boost amid strong advanced ticket sales. AMC Entertainment Holdings CEO Adam Aron says the advanced ticket sales have been robust for Barbie and Oppenheimer, two of the year's most eagerly anticipated movies. Barbie and Oppenheimer have the 12th and 17th highest same period U.S. advanced ticket sales in AMC history, he tweeted Wednesday. I doubt they will finish that high, but it demonstrates Barbie and Oppenheimer have the 12th and 17th highest same period U.S. advanced ticket sales in AMC's history. So these are advanced ticket sales for AMC specifically. 12th and 17th highest. It doesn't seem like crazy numbers, but they're actually really, really good. Now, he says, whoever predicted that movie theaters are dead. Now, this is causing Mattel stock to absolutely go crazy as well, because Mattel apparently is going to have like 20% rates of return on everything Barbie, and this is not really expected to boost toy sales as much as just the actual film is expected to bring in some nice profits for Mattel. So Mattel has been doing exceptionally well. Now, in regards to AMC's business, right? Every time AMC has raised capital in the past, the business has not been performing well. Okay? But this time around, AMC is going to raise a lot of capital, and the business is doing better than it has since COVID started. Even I would argue their efficiency is even better now than it was before COVID. This is something we talked about like years ago, but something crazy happens when you're a business and you're almost bankrupt. You have to cut cost any way that you possibly can. AMC was in that situation. AMC was making hard choices. Now, once you emerge from that, once things do fully recover, well, you're going to be a more efficient business than you were before. So maybe if AMC had 2% profit margins in a good year pre-pandemic, maybe they have 5 or 10%, something along the sides of Cineworld or Cinemark, whichever one did not go bankrupt, did pre-pandemic. So hopefully AMC is going to be a more profitable business once things do fully recover. Now, in terms of this actual capital raise, you're going to be raising capital when AMC is getting closer to a profitable level. Now, what I've talked about before is very important. If AMC is losing $400 million a quarter, well, raising a couple billion doesn't matter as much as if AMC is only losing like $50 million a quarter, or potentially even break even. So that's why I think this is ultimately a massive catalyst for AMC. This essentially crushes the short thesis on top of the losses that shorts have seen already in things such as the cost of borrow fees. This just is not a profitable trade at this point to be a part of. Look at Interactive Brokers, 1,050% cost of borrow fees. From Interactive Brokers, this is very much leaned towards hedge funds and institutions. 1,050%. Like, this trade was not supposed to last this long. This was supposed to last like a week or two, or maybe a month. It's not. It's lasted months and months and months at this point. This is a big problem for the hedge funds and institutions that are short in AMC. This has essentially made this trade unprofitable. Now, as soon as this news comes out that the courts have ruled that, there's going to be this reverse split, this is going to go through, the arbitrage trade was correct, I think a lot of shorts do cover on those short positions. I think that's the simple fact of the matter. So we'll see ultimately what does happen. But I think it's pretty clear that all these shorts have the same idea. When this news comes out, cover on your short positions. Buy it back after the reverse split, or short it back on the reverse split. That's, what it seems like to me. Now, why I say AMC is at the most short squeeze zone that you have ever seen, it's most prone to a short squeeze, is because look at the data. The short score is at 96. It's never been this high before, ever. Like literally ever in AMC's history. $624 million worth of short positions currently on AMC stock. Estimated short interest on free float at 28.04%. Free float out on loan at 34.5%. Shares out on loan 178.23%. Days to cover at 10.38. Cost to borrow at 274.11%, trailing 3-month average, and 83.4% utilization. I believe that Ortex is picking up those ape shares that continue to be sold by firms such as Intera Capital. That is really driving down the utilization rates. Now, utilization being at 83.4% doesn't really make sense with cost to borrow fees that we're seeing and the lack of available shares that are really outstanding as well. So something to definitely keep your eyes on, as well as on top of that, something I've talked about many times before. If apes still own 80 to even 90% of the float of AMC, well, that means there's only like 100 million shares that are freely trading out there. You have 145 million shares currently sold short. That means the short interest could really be 150+% for AMC, and that is a big problem when the short squeeze does actually occur. Now, option activity so far on the day has been slightly muted. 3 orders totaling 269,000 with a positive order value of 2%. We've seen this before. We've seen this, happen quite often. That the positive order value is very negative, right? There's a lot of those market maker shorts out on the markets right now, as people have been opting to trade AMC with some options. So there you have that. Now, as far as what's actually happening today, the Russian situation with Ukraine, essentially deeming all ships in the Black Sea as aiding Ukraine, basically meaning we're not going to be able to get wheat and agriculture products out of Ukraine. That's a pretty bad situation for potentially inflation. Now, that is a potential problem for the markets. And we want to see how this situation develops because it's definitely escalatory. We've seen on the S&P 500 some pretty fat drops on this news. Things are starting to recover a little bit, but we'll see if this comes back to be a bigger issue. Obviously, the main story is earnings from now over the next couple of weeks. If earnings are good and coming in line with expectations, well, things are going to be just fine. If earnings are bad and, things get ugly, well, that's going to be a big problem. Today in after hours, you have Netflix and Tesla. Netflix could move AMC. I doubt it will, but they are definitely in the same kind of business, essentially, movie business. So we'll see what happens there. Tomorrow, pre-market, TSMC, American Airlines, Johnson & Johnson, Nokia, Blackstone Group, Abbott, D.R. Horton, Philip Morris, and KeyBank. Thursday, after hours, Intuitive Surgical, Capital One, CSX, PPG, Berkeley, Bank of Ozark, First Financial Bank, Amerin, Associated Bank, a couple other banks as well, and then on Friday, American Express. So this earnings season is going to be very big, or the next couple of days, for credit, right? Discover and After Hours, Capital One tomorrow and After Hours, and Friday pre-market American Express. And this could actually move the markets quite a bit, just depending how people are feeling. Something you definitely want to watch. Now, Netflix and Tesla, those are obviously going to have big implications for the rest of technology, and if the rest of technology is going to do well on earnings. If Netflix and Tesla do not do well, that's not going to be a good sign for those other names, and you might start to see a pretty decent sell-off in the broader markets, depending on how they perform. Now, something else I want to point out in specific regards to AMC, you're not getting a lot of these 13F filings coming out. Only a handful of them so far. And you should be expecting to see a lot more of these as of right now. But we are not seeing that. So something strange is happening out there. These funds are really putting off filing these 13F filings. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe they're in some positions they don't want others to know about. Maybe there's just a lot of illegal shorting going on. As we reported yesterday, Highcroft Mining, as well as a bunch of other names, have been hiring personal investigators to look into this, to see if there has been a lot of naked shorting. And AMC, is clearly one of those names that has seen that kind of activity before. It wouldn't surprise me if things of that nature are happening again, guys. So AMC stock is up about 0.5% at the time of recording this video. It's really following this 8-day moving average still. You've kind of been trading sideways, slightly up as of recently. We're kind of just waiting for the court situation to get played out. That's ultimately the thing that's going to affect AMC the most. So that is going to do it here in this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.